Saganaga, Little Sag 9.
Little Saganaga campsite review.
It's Little Sebastian's favorite campsite, and one of mine. I would say, just generally pulling up to this thing, we're out on the big rock point, and that's the first thing you see, and it's quite a striking campsite.
It is.
Look at this view.
Also, another nice view. We've had 2 campsites on Little Sag with very nice views. We're not going to give the grade right away,
No.
but
We're happy.
We're fortunate campers on this trip.
Yeah, I still can't believe we haven't really seen anybody else out here. The first night we saw a fire over yonder, we never saw another boat on the water on Little Sag so far.
And today we were out fishing. We paddled in from Elton. No activity. Every campsite we've seen is empty. No campers, like not even a canoe, just kind of around. So I don't know. It's early. It is a Monday, the first Monday in June. But
It's still June.
yeah, it is June. But you know, this campsite seems like it just generally doesn't get as much use. There was literally a birch tree with birch bark hanging off of it in like arm's distance to the latrine.
Yeah.
And like usually those things you would just be like stripped down to
yeah.
the wood. And it was nice. You could just like, I didn't even have to like touch it. It was just like scraps on the ground I grabbed. So the main reason that we're starting down at the tip of this point here is one of the most interesting things I've seen at a campsite.
Absolutely.
Is by all accounts an old fire grate.
Let's take a look at this thing. It's clearly an old fire grate. You got your 4 post corners, which I don't know if they jackhammer that in.
Like they just like drill. I don't know that they drill. There's
Drill
obviously
those in?
like huge holes. Like this seems like a little. I mean, a little
Crazy.
a little aggressive for a fire grate set.
I mean,
It's
look
like,
where it is.
I mean, we're on either side.
Where would you sit?
I don't
Sitting
know.
right here, I assume, and it was facing that way.
It must have been like an intern who was like, "Ooh, yeah, let's put it right next to the lake."
So then somebody
way
came
too
out here
close.
and overruled this, because yeah, like all your ash is just gonna go right into the lake.
Well, yeah. At the end of the day, like you're all right. So you put your fire out, and there's some ash or whatever, and then it rains, and it's just gonna like slick down this cliff, and it's also not flat. It's just kind of a crazy thing that
Yeah,
there's
like
even.
you maybe get a couple seats right here, but then like
I was gonna say, careful.
watch
You're
out.
like
somebody's
2
gonna
feet away
tip
from it.
backwards off the cliff here. I mean, that's not safe. So I don't know, pretty comical.
A little.
I've never
funny.
seen a like you kind of like seen spots where like, yeah, maybe the fire grate used to be over here, but I've never seen one where it's just sawed off like this.
Right.
They just came in here, and I don't know how you get that out of there. Steel fire grate, you just cut it out.
How do they even get it out?
I don't know, you gotta weld that out, like just blast it? I have no idea. I have no idea.
Are welders allowed in the
No,
wilderness?
but neither are seaplanes, and they're in here all over the place, so.
Yeah, seaplanes.
Uh,
So yeah, we'll just give you a quick little tour down to the water gathering hole over here / Lake Trout Alley casting point.
yeah.
A nice little ledge here. You can
Easy scooping.
scoop your water, maybe even do some swimming in the summer. That looks like a pretty nice drop off.
It's dropping off pretty good, and it's nice and deep in this channel here.
You can see the distant hills, the distant burnt up hills of Gabby, Michigami from a different view.
Yeah,
But-
and I think with a nice big spoon, you could easily just cast right across this narrows, and
Yeah.
especially the way the wind's blowing in here, I definitely think we'll try some casts tonight, and for sure in the
For
morning.
sure tomorrow. So
Gotta give it your 5 casts in the morning just to see.
we're gonna walk up and continue reviewing the campsite, but also look at, for at least the viewers, what our campsite typically looks like. I would say, all honesty, probably a little bit cleaner than usual. Not necessarily cleaner, but
Well, yeah.
not quite as strewn.
Well, we got here, everything, we put up that green, the big CCES 10x10 rain fly right away. And then we had everything just kind of puked out of our bags underneath there,
Yeah.
and our chairs were there for a while. So
Yeah.
we've gotten a chance now to just kind of get all set up for the night. So
Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of looking, man, you know, like it's looking a little cleaned up, but
We know where stuff is.
yeah, it wasn't like I was up there vacuuming or something. Like it's.
You weren't raking?
I didn't rake either. Yeah, I mean, it looks like it was raked, and everybody knows you want to rake the forest floor,
Right.
just to make it nice and to prevent forest fires.
Yeah, pro tip.
Anybody who knows anything knows you got to rake the forest floor.
Right.
But this one actually looks, I'm kind of joking, but this one looks like somebody was up here raking. It's
No,
really in nice shape.
We did come in and I mean, we've been at awesome sites just like infrastructure wise, but they've also been, besides the Bobby and Rex hackings of cedars on Adams yesterday, this morning, like they've been like actually not bad, like where there's not a ton of crap in the fire grate. There, I mean, I guess we found some underwear, but this site
that was,
that was unacceptable. Unacceptable. And this site though, it was like the fire grate looked like it was like it's had like one fire in it. It was
maybe
crazy.
it's because they just took it out of the rock over here and moved it up
just
there.
Moved it. Yeah.
And maybe, who knows? I don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah, it looks really nice. And then you'll see too the way that like the logs are set up. It's really interesting. I've never seen a fire grate area set up this way. So let's go up and have a look.
Let's do it. That was too excited. Let's do it.
Yeah.
Some nice gravel on the way up here.
Again, we're gonna be sitting up high above the lake.
But of course we've got some randomly hacked shrubs. I don't know why. Like,
why would you do that? These poor little witch shrubs.
It looks like somebody had like some loppers out here or something.
Does. Maybe they did. So yeah. Here
we go. Yeah.
Two big long logs with the fire grate in between. And yeah, I've never seen this form before. I love it.
It is a nice form, and for anybody watching, you can clearly see the discrepancy in chair size here. It's kind of ridiculous.
It is comical and ridiculous, like how much bigger that chair is compared to yours.
Yes.
But they're both comfortable. Whatever, you know, yours packs down a lot smaller.
Yes. Yeah, very clearly. Yeah, so but just the way that this is perched and how flat everything is, and like seriously clean, like that's a nice, like we've obviously got a little firewood pile here, but when we walked up here it was just like a little tiny pile of like twigs for kindling, and then like a nice neat little stack of like perfect little burning logs.
You see the big thing of we gotta get this birch horn out here.
Oh yes, and then there's a large.
So this is right after we did the track with the airplane flying over, and I found this. Look at this thing. Welcome to Tumblehome, a Boundary Waters podcast. Quit flying airplanes around here. Get out and get.
Yeah, so it came with a natural megaphone.
Crazy.
Gotta give that extra points for the natural megaphone.
Yeah, I don't know if we can bring ourselves to actually use that, but
no.
It's right there for us if we need it.
You're ruining somebody else's wilderness experience.
There's nobody else out here. We've already established that. Yeah, so look at the way the fire grate's set up too. I love these rocks they've picked out for it. Look at this back rock in particular. Like, this thing was made to be on the back of a fire grate. And we gotta we have our maps and rum on top of this thing. But you can see it is a new style thin fire grate. You could definitely pizza biter on this, no problem.
Or ling ling.
Any kind of frozen goods, yeah.
Any kind of frozen oil-filled tube you could easily cook on the fire grate here.
Yeah, this fire grate's in immaculate shape, though. These rocks on all sides are just perfect. You got this, not a lot of rock for like, you know, a table rock, but this thing is really nice and perfect. And
oh, and it came with a couple of the bobby sticks.
Couple extra bobby sticks just for poking at the fire later.
Yep, but I mean, like, I think part of the reason why it looks so neat is there's only like 4 rocks surrounding the whole fire grate instead of like that
jumble.
Jumble,
right?
No jumble.
So the fire grate for me is an A.
A,
no problem.
For sure A. And it didn't come with this, but at this point, and you can't smell it, I know, but it is next to the fire grate, a very nice, very aromatic. Let me get that in there. Ooh. That's some nice split cedar there, boy. I can't wait to get a fire going.
Yeah, we got a really nice pile of firewood here. We're gonna be well set up.
Yeah.
So, no complaints there. High grades for the fire grate, and then you got this beautiful view.
Nicely elevated again over the lake.
We're almost looking back on 20, where we stayed on Saturday night. It's just around the corner. When we were out fishing, you could actually see it, and it doesn't look like there's anybody over there. So
we were joking about camping at the campsite that we saw people having a fire at on night 1.
Yeah.
And then we also ended up talking about how it could be like a coherence situation.
Right, like
if you've seen that movie,
we're gonna be camped out and then look across, and there's gonna be people on the other campsite with blue glow sticks, and we're gonna also have red glow sticks. And
ooh, those crazy guys over there having a wild campfire.
I mean, there's at least a 5% chance that it was us over there somehow,
maybe
in another dimension, having a fire.
Yeah, another dimension, or from like in the future or in the past.
Yeah. Who knows?
So yeah, solid A on the fire grate for many reasons.
I've never
Just
done
nice and flat.
I've never done a trip where we've stayed on the same lake twice, but not in consecutive nights.
It's been very unique, and the figure 8 trip style is maybe going to be something that happens more in the future.
Yeah, interesting. Yeah, I'm really liking it too. I'm glad we got back to Little Sag.
The double helix style.
Yeah, it's
yeah,
absolutely. All right, let's check out these hammock sets.
Yeah,
I'm pretty proud of these hammock sets. So yeah, we put up the 10 by 10 here right away, and then laid the hammock in underneath it later once we were done using it as like a snacking portfolio. We got the party lights back. I know earlier in this trip I said we were packing light and I had left the party lights at home. Well, they were actually in the pouch of the hammock. So
found them.
They're real party lights. They're more of a fairy light. They're not very long, but trust me, once it gets a little darker here, the ambiance is going to be well worth the 0 ounces of weight they cost us. So
yeah, where am I at? A bridal shower?
I think these are from our wedding, but I'm not sure.
They don't look like they take up any room or weight. They're
I can't believe the batteries still work.
It's like a single wire with a tiny little light like every 1.5 inches.
Yeah.
They're very nice at night though, just a little accent.
Just a little charm.
Yeah.
So yeah, I got a really nice spot here right at the edge. Got the fly up, you know, there is a good chance of rain tonight and in the morning, so it's just nice to have it up. Got the pro set. People are like, maybe this hammock set a little too tall. Nonsense. Nonsense. This is right where you want it, and it's perfectly level. You want to check that the carabiner at that end is also at the same on that end. You don't want to have a situation like I did night 1 where I had one side a little too high. It was a real bozo maneuver, and then you're kind of like sliding in your hammock all night.
Yeah.
You want to just be level so you can sit with your hot water bottle and sweet dreams.
I wonder how the acoustics sound a little bit different.
The acoustics and the lighting is going to be odd in here.
The Cook Custom Sewing.
Yeah, it's a fine product.
Very nice.
Yeah, it's been a while since I've actually had to set this up. Usually I like tie all the little P-cord ropes up and have them in nice like bunches.
Yeah.
For cleanliness and just ease of deployment. But
Yeah,
we pulled this thing out. It was just a jumbled mess of knots. But
yeah, it was like, wow, pack up, we gotta go.
Having 2 people working on this, it was up pretty quick. So
yeah,
got a nice rock here. I can have a.
You can almost do like a shelf down there for easy reaching of late night, early morning drink.
Who knows?
After the open mouth snoring has dried out your mouth.
Oh man, I was snoring it up pretty hard last night.
We've got a nice tree here. Obviously, podcast listeners won't get to see the life jacket / water hanging tree, but we got a nice little station here for that. And then you can also, again, see the juxtaposition between somebody who takes their life seriously on the water and somebody who doesn't.
What is this life jacket is, I'm so embarrassed by it. And honestly, on this trip, it's I've come to realize like I need to invest in a reasonable life jacket at this point.
Yeah, for many reasons. The front little pockets that keep things from getting crushed.
Yeah.
You throw stuff in there and it's right there.
This thing's not worth a damn except for you can put little carabiners on it and then you can attach water bottles to it. So I've been a really good water mule on this trip.
You have been muling it very nicely for us.
But I mean, it's like keeps riding up and rubbing on my neck while I'm paddling. This thing's a joke.
Yeah.
Honestly, I feel, again, I'm a little embarrassed by having this as my life jacket at this point in my paddling career. Pretty sad.
It makes you who you are. But yeah, so I think if you wanted to, you could maybe say that where your hammock is would be a tent pad, and I think you could say the same thing for where mine is.
Yeah, and there, even in front of the fire grate area is flat enough. You could pop one out there on the point.
Yeah, maybe. And then there is also one way back in the woods, so for sure 3 tent pads.
I'd
probably
say
4.
Yeah.
And then yeah, basically the same thing happening here, but this is just my hammock set with a little bit of the same thing going on, just a little bit different. I've got the thermarest in there, so it looks like there, if you're watching, maybe a human of some sort is in there. It's just a thermarest, don't worry. So
yeah, again, pretty much as many hammocks as you want to get in here.
yeah,
I think.
you can. I think if you're watching again, you can clearly see there are multiple options for nice trees. We're nice and elevated here. Do we want a quick walk down to the? I think when we came up on this spot,
right,
it looked like, hey, this looks cool, but landing's a little shady.
Right,
I don't know how we're gonna get up there.
Where we started would have like that's what we saw at first. It was like, yeah, we could land there, but like then we got to carry the canoe up this like rock shelf. I don't know. Not ideal.
No.
But it could work. But then we came around the backside, and I think we should walk down there.
Yes.
And show it's a beautiful little marina down there.
I think it's what makes it what it is.
I love it when there's like a little backdoor marina on it, where it's not just coming into the front of the camp. You kind of park back there, and then you walk back up to the prominence.
Yeah, no, it's like basically it's like the garage of the site.
Yeah.
Yeah.
On our way down there, I haven't made it over to the latrine yet. What do you got to say about it? Is it in reasonable shape at least? You said there was no lid.
No lid. I don't know if I necessarily need to go back to the latrine.
We're not going back there, but.
So yeah, there's
so it's not taking points away from the site.
No, not at all. Perfect individual sandy marina landing,
Yeah.
which I don't know how many times this has happened, and I think people that are listening to this show, people even if they're not listening, have probably seen my campsite reviews on Clearwater. I'm not handing out high grades on those just because. I think I probably actually grade them a little bit harsher.
You're a tough grader, and there's a lot of reviews out there where you get low grades for various aspects of a campsite.
Yeah.
When it doesn't deserve a high grade, you're not afraid to give out the correct grade.
Right, and I'm not doing this because we are out here talking about them, but I think we've gotten 3 A campsites in a row.
Yeah,
which is awesome.
AAA at it. And the fact that nobody else is out here, we would have paddled around until we found a campsite that was probably an A.
Yeah.
But you never really know until you move into one.
Yeah, right. And we did pass a couple, and it was like, oh, that one's kind of up on a little perch. That one looks okay, and we could make it work. But all of a sudden, like, we found this spot, and it kind of looked like it had potential on the map. You know, we'll I guess we can we'll point it out on the map and throw it in the show notes. I don't think we specifically said where we are, but we're kind of on the island in basically the middle, about
middle western,
about a mile northwest of where we spent night 1, which we did a really good job of describing where that was.
I think so.
But so yeah, just to say, like, yeah, we're not just saying we're camping at A campsites. Like, these are 3 solid campsites that we've spent 3 nights at. I feel incredibly fortunate, and I don't think there's too many intangibles to really apply to this site yet, you know, where you can say like, well, there are fresh blueberries growing in the site or anything like that. Just
right.
like all year long, this seems like a solid spot.
I think so.
I mean, you might be a little hard pressed to get 4 canoes pulled up here, but if you did it right, you just have
You figure it out.
one person land at a time. It's kind of like this perfect little, like I said, it seems like it's like a garage, like a ramp.
It is.
Just to pull up, and then you walk up and you've got a nice little elevated, flat, well-kept campsite, and not too much Uncle Rexing going on up there with the hatcheting.
I love
or
the
hacking.
Uncle Rex and Bobby characters that have just been developed on this trip.
Well,
They're caricatures of very real people who are in the Boundary Waters at all times. So
yeah.
I don't think a lot of people that are listening to this show are Uncle Rexes or Bobbies themselves.
No.
I think we all maybe know one.
Right, yeah. So like that's another part of it. Like we didn't want to take too much away from the site on Adams for a lot of that.
Yeah.
But the one nice thing about this site is it doesn't seem to have any of that like heavy
Yeah, no deductions are necessary here.
dumb cuttings.
Yeah.
Not really any of
It's
it.
overall really clean and just a beautiful site. So yeah, I think we've already said it. It's getting an A.
3 A's in a row.
3 A's in 3 nights. So
AAA trip.
yeah, that's a new way of putting it. It's a AAA trip.
Yeah.
Nice.
Exactly. So yeah, I think that's it for the campsite review, and we're gonna get a little fire going here. If there is any additional comments on the site, maybe we'll come back around the campfire, but every time we say that, it never happens. But
no, we'll probably check back on the move tomorrow to end out the show here. But
yeah,
I think we got a lot of material on this episode, and it's been a big couple days on our way into Adams and then getting all the way back out here. So big trip overall.
Yeah,
but I'm feeling great.
Double helix, amen.
All right, thanks for being here, and we'll check you tomorrow morning.
Bye.
Bye.